Hey there, friends. Welcome to Bronze Medal Moms. We aren't going for gold, we're going for bronze on the daily. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and we are here to remind you that you don't have to be perfect to show up, survive, and even thrive in motherhood.
Hey, friends. Welcome back to Bronze Medal Moms, the podcast for the moms who are doing the dang best they can. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Amy. Today we are talking about something that gets real this time of year: body image and swimsuit season.
Oh my gosh. Now, before we dive in, oh man, that was such a bad dad joke.
Unintended. Diving
Unintended. We have a very special guest joining us today. I'm honored to share with Brittney Roberts is a licensed therapist who works with women navigating pregnancy, postpartum, and all the messy, beautiful chaos of motherhood. She also happens to be a mom of three herself, so she gets it. Brittney, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with y'all.
Yay, me too.
in. We love you, Brittney. So you and I have been friends for a while. And I knew you were a bronze medal mom when I started following you on your Instagram. And I read what you had to say about perfectionism. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah. Well, I think I it comes up in nearly every woman that I work with that this perfectionism, it's the worst. And it keeps you feeling so stuck to be focused on everything being perfect. So what I think I was saying was to focus more on progress, not perfection. So you don't have to be the perfect mom to celebrate the small wins and like be kind to yourself along the way. So I think it's all about like self-compassion too, trying to break that cycle of perfectionism. And another thing I tell most of my clients at some point, I'm like, you got to lower the bar. You have to lower
We
the
say that all the time on this call.
so low. I'm like, not one time, not two times, lower it like five or six times. Like if you are alive and your baby is alive, or if you are alive and your children are alive, like great. That's where the bar is. So,
That's
Yes.
everyone's breathing. Everybody wins. Everyone's breathing.
We do. We say that all the time on Bronze Medal Moms, like lower the bar, lower
lower
your
it
standards. Yeah.
all
But
the way down.
I love that it's about progress, not perfection. And that really, so I'm 47, that really didn't click for me it was just a couple years ago because getting stuck in that perfectionism cycle for me, even beyond just body image, it would derail me from so many things because if I didn't do it perfect, then I would just quit. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
right? Like focus on the journey, focus on the progress, not that perfection. So I love it. And for all the bronze medal moms listening, like don't feel bad for having the body image stress. Because we all have it, but let's look at the progress towards changing those thoughts. I really love that.
Yeah,
True
yeah.
love. That's so
Yeah.
true. And like it shows up in the Target dressing room, it shows up at the pool, it shows up when you look in the mirror. You're like, whose body is this? What happened here?
Right. Our bodies change. Especially as moms, as women, even if you've not actually birthed, if you're a mom through adoption or some other means, like our bodies just change because of aging, but it really isn't about our physical bodies. I think it's actually how we talk about them, right?
Yeah.
And for me, especially having a daughter, our kids, they're listening, they're watching, they absorb it all. And even if you don't think you're verbally saying it in front of them, like they get it, right? And they
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have that filter to think, well, mom's having a bad day or mom needs a moment. They just think, oh goodness, mom's ashamed of her body. Or when I look like that, I shouldn't feel good either.
Right.
So that actually makes me think about this, and I just realized this. Brittany, you and I are the same. One daughter, two boys,
Yeah.
and but your little girl's still a baby. But I'm just gonna say her name. Brooke Hemingway made this great post about I think it was maybe a picture of or a video of her in a swimsuit. Maybe she was walking on the beach. I don't remember. So it was a great post, but I don't remember what it was. But it was a great post that it was something that she was saying like I used to think my stomach wasn't my thighs were big or my chest was too small or my shoulders were too broad. I don't remember all these little details. And then she scans to her daughter and she's like, and then I had a daughter that looked just like me.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter and I look identical. I remember her asking me when she was like 4, she's like, I wonder what I'm gonna look like when I grow up. And I was like, right here. Ta-da! Hope you
Yes.
like it.
Sorry.
This is me. Don't get your hopes up. But it's true. Like you
Mhm.
have to realize what they're saying and what you're saying in front of those kids because they might look exactly like you. And if you're
Right.
bashing your body, that's just going to resonate for them bashing theirs. So,
Yeah. And I just
uh,
did it actually. I just did it very naturally. A very good example.
really?
Yes, I said, yes, you're gonna look when you were saying you're gonna look like me. This is what you're gonna look like. I'm like, yeah, sorry. And it's like, even if it's not serious, it's part of that. Like, women are so good at self-deprecation too.
Mhm.
And like a lot can't take a compliment or see the positives in themselves. And so I think that's kind of, even if it's a joke, it's something that kids can internalize and take away, right?
Well, it's true. Like now, I kind of feel so. Rue's 11, y'all know, and I feel like Rue would sense my sarcasm
Sure.
that more, but like I don't know, when she was like 3 or 4, she's not gonna get my sarcasm, that she's not gonna get that I'm joking about, you know, whatever, things like that. So
Right. Well, and we just like you're picking up and creating, like kids are picking up on those sorts of things and creating belief systems about
Mhm.
you, their family, relationships, the world, like themselves. So I
right,
think it's like it's scary. That's part of why being a parent is so scary because you can be doing an amazing job, like
and still something will happen.
bronze medal award winning job. And I mean, we're just humans, so they can
Right.
still impact them. And again, circle back around to like, we're just not completely in control, and that's hard. And we can't be perfect. And our kids need us to not be perfect.
So that they can see that and
Yeah.
realize that that's okay.
Because a
So,
lot of women who struggle with perfectionism, that's what they saw in their mom.
oh
So,
yeah. Yeah, like we're talking, generations of passed down belief systems for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, okay, tell me
But
this,
yeah.
Brittany. I know you work with a lot of new moms. So, how does our relationship with our body change pre-kids to post-kids?
Yes. So, I think there's like the obvious like physical changes that happen with pregnancy and breastfeeding. And a lot of women, it seems like, feel like they don't know their body anymore, that
Mm.
their body is not theirs, that they don't recognize their body. All of those sorts of things I think are really common.
Especially with
And
breastfeeding, I feel like your body becomes totally utilitarian. You're just
yes,
like, I'm just here to
yes,
provide food. That's what I do.
right, right. And the other thing that's really hard about it, I think, is that everyone's body is so different and reacts to pregnancy and
Mm.
breastfeeding and postpartum so differently. Like, I know for me, like if I was breastfeeding, I just like lost weight, but that doesn't happen for every woman. So some women hold on to weight when they're breastfeeding, and that can be really frustrating. And it's just again like going back to this idea of being so out of control of your own body is not comfortable for a human being, right? Like we don't want to feel sort of like helpless or powerless over our bodies. And pregnancy, postpartum, breastfeeding, we just lose a lot of that control. And we're between just the hormones and like the biological, physical changes that we're out of control of, but also factors like with a new baby, your whole life has changed. Even with little kids, like I feel like I only recently got into a exercise routine that I was
Mm.
able to maintain long term. And Bowen is 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
He was 8 when I figured it. How do I fit this in and start to get control back of what's going on with my body, right? Like it's
Yeah.
like the time.
And I
Well,
was
especially you said too, like the new, when you have that first baby, you have no idea what's going to happen to your body. And
No,
it's kind of like a
no,
mystery.
no.
I
And
mean, cut you off. What were you going to say?
well, I was one of those women who breastfeeding did not lose. People are like, "Oh, I lost all the baby weight because I breastfed." Yeah, no, that wasn't me.
it doesn't happen for everyone.
I think when not only when you're stuck in that perfectionism cycle, but also comparison. So then you're like, something's
Right.
wrong. But I was thinking it's not just like us for new moms in our own head and what's happening with our own bodies. And this is probably a completely separate podcast episode, so I don't want to go too deep. But then you
I
may
feel like every podcast we mention
yeah,
another podcast that we're going to
start like
do.
it should definitely be a series for certain topics. But then you may also have a partner or someone else that's also making comments, or you're feeling that
Mm.
pressure from them. So it's
Oh
not even
yeah,
just what's going on, in our own minds about
for
the body
sure.
changes. So
For sure. For sure. Not to mention just all of the um, kind of like BS that we get fed as women
okay,
about what our bodies should look like, right? Just from
yeah,
society and the media and everything.
right,
There's
right.
like unrealistic standards and stuff
And
and it doesn't go away. Like
no, it just
it's
it,
so fun to be a pregnancy goddess, right? Like I also don't
Mhm.
identify as a pregnancy goddess. I didn't really like it, but you like, oh, a break from worrying about like my what my body looks like. It's supposed to get big, it's supposed to gain weight. And you're like, oh, what a relief. And then after you have your baby, you're like, you give yourself grace for a couple of weeks and then you're like, all righty, well, when is this going away? Like, why does this still look different? And we just have so little grace for
Well, and it's
ourselves.
interesting, Amy, that you said that about the spouse, because I remember this so specifically. Um, I have a sister-in-law who, if y'all know her, she's wonderful, a blessing, a total freak of nature when it comes to having babies. Her body was meant to be pregnant and bounces back like you would not believe. It is unbelievable. And she like has all her babies at home in a tub. Like she's just Mother Earth when it comes to her.
She's a pregnancy goddess.
She is a pregnancy goddess. She is 100% a pregnancy goddess. But and so she had her babies first. She had two babies by the time I was having my first. And I remember being nervous about my body and how I was going to bounce back and all these things. And my husband was like, well, Laura bounced back just fine. I'm sure you will. And I think he thought that to be supportive, but really it was just comparing me to her, that she and I are complete different body types. There's no way that we would ever have the same experience, exactly the same. Like she just has a different body type than mine.
mhm.
So I really think that even if someone, it's not like bashing your spouse if you're saying like, oh, you're not being supportive, but I think even if they're trying to be supportive, it's like that wasn't helpful.
Yeah.
No.
People don't know what to say. And people are always commenting on your body while you're pregnant too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's like an open season for like, oh, you're big, you're small, you're blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's usually people that have no clue. I
It's usually 70-year-old dudes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was
70 year
I
old dude.
yeah, I don't know from my voice if people can tell, but I'm very short and I'm very short-waisted. And I gained a ton of weight, but there was no place for it to go except out. So I kind of look like a weeble wobble. People are like,
Yeah.
"You're gonna fall over," really early on. And I traveled for work a lot. And the amount of strange men on an airplane that would comment, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me right now."
Yeah. I
So
know.
what though are some of the most common body image concerns that you hear from moms, Brittany?
Um, so I think just, I mean, really just like not liking the what you see in the mirror,
Mhm.
Mm.
not feeling comfortable in their own skin and feeling really powerless in changing it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah, I
I
think
can
it's
totally
like,
relate to that. I talked to a lot of people about that because I'll go through that, especially since I had the surprise pregnancy. And you talk about a workout thing. When I just had Rue and Roger, I was working out 2 to 3 times a week at Orange Theory. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
joke that I was in such great shape and I looked so good that we had a oopsie baby. I
Yeah.
looked too good.
Well, whoops.
But and still now Raleigh is 3.5 and I'm still not, I haven't found my groove
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Of like I'll have like a couple weeks that I work out and then it'll stop. And I just haven't found that groove yet. So I think that I
Yeah.
love that you said that, yours is 8 and you're like, I just found it again.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm curious what you would say about this though, because one thing I've realized now that I'm older too is to stop striving. Like, yes, I have to find my groove, but stop striving to get back to the body that I had. Because, like, that's
For
Mm,
gone,
sure.
right? Like, I'm 47, I breastfed for 5 years, things are changing. So, like,
Wow.
I'm not going to have my
Yeah.
38-year-old body again. So, maybe even reframing what that end result is that we're striving towards. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yes. And so that's the most important part.
Mhm.
And I think probably the goal of what y'all wanted to get at today is not
yes.
how do I get a workout routine? I mean, if that's something I work with women on, like finding motivation but a lot of it has to do with reframing the way that you're talking to yourself and thinking about your body, and all of that helps you to eventually get to a place where you can do something sustainably, I think. But we get so tripped up by the records and the messages that we play for ourselves that we maybe heard our mom saying, or like the comparison thing, and I should look different, or
Yeah.
should look like
And
I'm
here's one
31 and
I've got for you.
47.
Yeah,
This
'cause
is this is my reframing and I will say this. So I have I don't wear a two-piece swimsuit anymore with post kids. One, I don't I don't think I could wear like a string bikini and not have my children crawling all over me in the pool and completely taking it off on accident. I think that
Sure,
that would happen
very
immediately. So
practical.
right,
even if I, so it's not practical to wear like a
function.
little sexy
Right.
bikini anymore. But I used to tell myself, okay, I don't wear the bikini anymore because I got these three stretch marks from Roger, not Rue, when my boys both gave me stretch marks. And I looked at myself the other day and they were really not that bad. And I was like, why am I hiding? And I thought about this. You're saying what our moms used to say to us. And my mom always said, because I'm 5'10", I'm very tall. I looked like she always said I was built like an apple on toothpicks. That I had really thin little legs, but a big round stomach. And I've always identified as, well, yeah, because I'm an apple on toothpicks. So I have to hide my stomach all the time. I always wear flowy clothes. I don't tuck things in. And it's always been that way because I identify as an apple on toothpicks.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
going back to what we said, your mom probably didn't mean anything negative by it when it
No,
said, right? And what I was going to say, and I'm curious to get into more reframing the thoughts and what our listeners can do, because I know all of our listeners are all nodding their heads in agreement with this episode.
right.
It's not actually about your stomach. It's not actually about the size of my legs or my butt. It's what I'm saying about them in my own mind. Because listen, nobody else, I couldn't tell you anyone I saw at the pool over the weekend what they actually look like in their bathing suit.
No.
Nobody else is paying
Nobody's
any attention.
paying attention to you.
Right. Nobody's paying any.
They're paying attention to their own kids. They're trying to make sure their own kids don't drown.
Right. Right. Or they worried about their own legs in their own bathing suit. So,
Right.
so what do we do then for reframing kind of those thoughts?
Yeah. So first of all, it's really hard. I just want to say, like, I think it's a common, like, reframing is kind of a common way, or like, what am I trying to say here? Like, it's I kind of feel like it's well known among people who aren't even in the mental health community, like this concept of like, I need to talk to myself differently. And in reality, it's really, really hard to do. And so I think it sounds super simple. It's simple in theory and hard in practice. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time of reframing and rewriting those records and messages to actually get to a place where your belief systems about yourself start to change. And so,
I love that. That's so grace giving. Simple in theory, but long in practice. That's so like, okay, this is going to take time. I love that.
yes, and so it's something that I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no magic solution. There's no like trick. It takes effort, right? It takes work to do this, it takes work to take care of your body. It takes work to take care of your mental health. So I just always preface with that. But so the concept is first identifying the negative records and messages and beliefs that you have about yourself and that you catch yourself thinking or saying to yourself. And then once you get to know what those messages are for you, you can start to rewrite them. So, what it looks like in real life is a really slow process of, like in therapy, I would recommend in between session, like writing down anytime you notice that you're having like a negative thought or you were like, oh my gosh, you're so stupid, or you look terrible, or I hate my stomach. Like it's like building the awareness of what they are and like write them down, write when it happens, what was going on, so that you can start to also connect triggers, like what is triggering the
Mm.
thoughts. Because sometimes you can avoid triggers, but you're always, these things are always going to come up at some point. So we're not trying to completely get rid of them, also, but we do want to build awareness around them so that we can choose to talk to ourselves differently in a more like compassionate, grounded way.
Mhm.
Does that
I
make sense?
love that. It reminds me of that book. I forget who wrote it. Amy, you remember that What to Say When You Talk to Yourself book,
Oh,
and kind of
sure.
like reframing those that inner monologue of like, well, how am I really talking? Like, I remember when I read that book and I was like, I'm really mean to
Yes.
myself. Why am I
Yeah.
being so mean?
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Well, and there's so many things ingrained in us, especially as women. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking like
Hmm.
definitely a lot of the things I have said to myself over the years, but how often do women put on an outfit and ask who's ever in the room, do I look fat? Does this make me look fat? Why is that our first thought, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, I love the reframing your thoughts, but I think it's great to let our listeners know like this is not a one and done deal. This
Right.
is it's going to take over time. And even though you may think you have it all figured out and, quote unquote fixed, the trigger may pop up again and it may come up again. So I feel like this is kind of an ongoing conscious thing that we're always going to be working on.
Right. And so, um, because also if there's another piece of this that goes a little bit deeper, like if you have pain, if you've had painful experiences around your body, um, whether it's abuse or bullying or a critical parent or something like that, um, it's always going to hurt. Like we can't completely get rid of these things that have impacted who
Right.
we are.
Mhm.
So that's why I think it's the awareness building piece is so important. And that's what, oh my, in therapy, we can really do that deeper dive into like what's sort of driving these. Where did these messages come from, if anywhere? Sometimes it's like just how we are in society and like we've been talking about media and blah blah blah. But sometimes it's based off of the experiences that we've had that have shaped who we are. So if we can get to know what those things are and to be like, I had a critical parent, I walked away with that with like a fear of not ever being good enough. And so I'm a perfectionist. I try to be perfect at work, as a mom, with my body. The perfectionism is a reaction that's trying to protect you from feeling like you're not good enough, right? It
Mhm.
hurts to feel like you're not good enough. So we try and overfunction or be perfect or always be in control to take care of that. When what's really going to help take care of it is the awareness that you have the fear of not being good enough in the first place.
Mhm.
And how do I take care of that part of me that's really hurting? And this is where you can use reframing to take care of that differently, to say, you're doing a great job,
Mm.
or like, you've done enough today and you're a good mom, or any of those sort of like ways that you would reframe. That's how you can bring the reframing in to kind of take care of all of that on a deeper level.
Mhm.
So,
I just had an interesting one that I've started doing because, like I said, um the workout stuff is not happening for me.
yeah,
And I say that like it happens every so often, but it's I don't have my groove. And I like to have I'm very routine. Like I would be the easiest person for a serial killer to kill because I have a routine. You know exactly where I am at every time of the day. It's not a mystery, anyone. You know where I am. But um I was thinking like each night I would go to bed and I'm like, oh, I didn't work out today. Oh, I drank too much wine today. Oh, I did da da
yeah,
da 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 all these things. And I was like, you know what? Instead I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna start thinking like, okay, I'm very big on your body is a vessel. It is a shell that you are taking care of and while you're here on this planet. And I'm just going to think about it as what did I do good for my body today? Like, I took my vitamins. Yay for me! I remember to take my
yeah,
vitamins. I drank an extra thing of water. Like, little things like that are making me feel like I'm at least pushing the needle forward
yeah, yeah.
And get out.
than just
It's the shame
continuing
spiral.
to, yeah, continue to beat myself down. If
Yeah.
it's like that progress versus perfection of like, I don't know. And maybe you're like, that's really wrong, Amanda. You shouldn't be doing any of that.
Well, I,
But
I'm curious because I also would think, just because I have done a lot of work on myself with, I'm wondering if when you're in that kind of shame spiral, it actually is going to make then like you're less likely to work out. You're when you're so mean to
Mm.
yourself, like you're less likely to do the things to improve the thing that you're shaming yourself about. So I'm wondering what's actually kind of happening psychologically when we feel these anxious things come up about whether it's wearing a swimsuit or our bodies or what's happening there.
Part of what's going on psychologically is what we've been talking about, right? Like that we have these negative records and these painful things. So whenever, okay, sorry.
That's okay.
You think about an iceberg.
Mhm.
What we know about icebergs is that only 10% of it is above the surface. And
Right.
it can look like really obvious and big and grand and all of the things, but really it's just a tiny piece of it.
Mhm.
And so the bulk of it is underneath the surface. And if you compare yourself or, your life to that, what happens is we all really want to take care of the 10%. We live in the 10%. That's where our like taking care of our kids happens and our relationships happen and issues that we're having and stressors at work and our behaviors that we want to change. I drank too much wine. I didn't work out today. Like all of that stuff is what you can see easily. And it's really easy to focus on. But what's really driving everything that's going on at the surface is what's in the 90%, which is where our feelings are and our fears and our desires.
Mm.
What it ends up looking like in this example for like body image issues is that you experience anxiety about putting the bathing suit on or trying them on, going to the pool, whatever. You experience that anxiety and you want to fix it. You want to fix your body, right? Fixing my body and having the perfect body or getting back to my whatever skinny jeans goal weight will make me feel better and then I won't feel anxious.
Mm.
When really what's driving the anxiety about the bathing suit is the pain around maybe not feeling good enough
Mhm.
or not being perfect. Trying to think of other examples, but
Yeah.
um, it's a fear-based thing.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
some people get hung up on the fear part.
Right.
painful things. It doesn't have to be scary. Like it's just semantics.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So
imagine,
there are these painful things that each of us have that drive our behaviors and our anxieties and our sadness. And we work really hard to make the surface look like we want it to in the 10%. And it's just not what is helpful. Yeah. Like having, even if you did, Amanda, start working out like you used to and get your perfect body back, guess what? It's still going to come up for you
yeah,
Yeah.
another way, like not feeling good enough or whatever it is for
right,
you. So,
right. So,
That's so true. It is even like even if I got back to the wedding weight or whatever it
right.
is, there's still going to be that anxiety because I have that. And I love that we live in our 10%. I love that visual. I think that's so great.
when if you
Yeah,
haven't, yeah, if you haven't like worked and reframed those thoughts around that, even though you're back in your, wedding dress or whatever we're striving towards, like you said, it's going to express itself in some other way that
right.
anxiety. Yeah, yeah.
So
Go ahead.
it's hard. It's hard work.
Yes. Well, and one thing I did, and I'm going to encourage all the bronze medal moms to do this who may be in a place where they're not comfortable in their bodies, or they've got a little bit of weight to lose, or they're having these thoughts. And Brittany, you can tell me if I'm wrong and I shouldn't have done it. But I finally got rid of all of those tiny, smaller clothes I was trying to fit back into because
Mm.
when I'd walk into my closet, then I had a whole bunch of stuff that didn't fit, and it further put me down the shame spiral. When instead, I'm like, you know what? How about I go buy all new clothes that fit the body I have right now? And then if I ever get to a different size, I can buy new clothes. But being able
Yeah.
to walk in and, and not seeing like, oh, I can't fit in that anymore. To me, the way my brain works, that wasn't motivating at all.
Yeah, for sure.
It kept me
For sure.
stuck. So I'm encouraging all of our bronze medal moms, especially the ones deciding if you should go to the pool party or stay home because it's tight and nothing fits. Go buy the swimsuit that fits. Go buy the jeans that fit and then wear the swimsuit and get in the pool because at the end of the day, like we said at the beginning, your kids aren't remembering what your butt looked like. They're remembering that you cannonballed or that you splashed or that you were actually in the pool with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're remembering you, the mom who showed up, jiggly thighs and all. The mom who said, "This body gave me everything I love, and I'm not going to hide it." That's what we want to pass down, especially if we have daughters that look like us. We want to teach them to love their bodies.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's a great thing to do, Amy. Like I've done the same thing. Like, why am I holding on to this?
Yeah.
I can buy more clothes later. Don't get too hung up on that kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah, I found it was keeping me more stuck.
Yeah, and it's making you each day start something with a negative
Yeah.
of
Now I'm
like,
not like, yeah, I didn't like throw out my wedding dress or something sentimental.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, obviously, if there's something that you really
Right.
don't throw it
that
away.
makes me, you know what that wedding dress makes you think of though? Have you seen all those reels lately of the moms who have like a wine night and they all wear their wedding dresses? And there's always the one friend who's like, nope,
Yeah,
don't wear it.
not putting that on again.
They're like, try again, losers. I'll still show up though.
And listen, also, even because I finally have gotten into my groove, and I'm pretty close now to the weight I was around the time I got married, but stuff has shifted. Like things are
Yes.
different.
The
So I'm
stomach is still wrinkly, even though
right,
it's hotter.
right.
Yes.
Things just are different. Like so to all the moms out there, like let's strive to love the body we currently have. Um,
Yes.
and I
Well,
know
and to do what you need to do to feel comfortable, plus focus on it not needing to be perfect.
yes.
Right.
That it's like kind of everything y'all have said that let me do something for my body now. And in the future, if it's different, I can tackle that then.
Yeah.
And these are the good things I've done for myself today. and not focus on the like, oh, but I had a cookie or whatever
Yeah.
kind of thing. And then remind yourself why you want to go to the pool or get in a bathing suit. What
Mm.
is motivating that is sometimes, again, like the way that we talk to ourselves, 'cause- and Amy, you were hitting at this earlier, it keeps us stuck.
Mhm.
So even if we're like, oh, I should look better by now, or my body should look different. Like, don't should on yourself for sure.
Yeah.
I should put the
That could be
baby
a t-shirt right there. Don't shit on yourself.
Yeah.
whenever. So if you can, it's more motivating to talk to yourself in a way where you replace should with want.
Mm.
So like, I want to buy a new bathing suit.
Yeah.
You're like, it does a couple of things. You might be like, I really don't. I really, really don't want to buy a new bathing suit and I really don't want to go to the pool and I'm going to find something else to do with my kids and that's fine. Let me revisit it next year, next week, whatever. And so it gives you it allows you to do what's best for you in that moment and you get to decide and it puts you in control of making that decision. Also, you can be like, I want to buy a new bathing suit. And you'd be like, oh, I really don't want to. I really don't want to because it's like not, it's gonna trigger me. I know it's gonna trigger me. But it will give me, I want to do it because I want to do this with my kids, or I want my kids to see me comfortable, or at least pretending to be comfortable at first in a bathing suit and being like positive about my body. So you can choose to do it or not do it. But if you're doing it, you know what your motivation is. And it's not because I want to look like the Instagram moms or the sister-in-law or
Mhm.
whatever I think I should.
I love that. And, back to what you said, that progress over perfection, that's something that helped me too, because I found that when I was only, making those changes for a swimsuit or an event or a wedding or a certain
Yes.
outfit or a vacation, a lot of people are like, oh, I have to,
Oh, sure.
there's an end date, right? And then if you don't hit it, then you fall in that shame spiral again. So I thought, you know what? Progress over perfection. There actually is no end date to my wellness journey, my body
Right.
image journey, So there's no end date. I'm going to do what I can do every day. Some days, we're not going to, like Amanda said, you're going to focus on, well, I took my vitamins today and that's all I got, right?
Right.
Where other days you're like, man, I ran 5 miles and I did a 30-minute workout or whatever it looks like.
Right.
But not putting that end date on it for me and focusing on the progress and not the
Mhm.
perfection of it, that was that made a big difference to me too, kind of in my healing
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. It makes it more sustainable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
to be
I love
like,
that.
this doesn't have to look, if you want to make a change and change your habits or whatever, it doesn't have to look, first of all, it's not going to look like it used to. I used to be like, I wake up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym before I do anything else, and I can't eat before, and I can't if I've eaten, then I can't work out, and I don't work out in the evening. It was like 20-year-old me, had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I kind of you have to let go of those ideas of like what it's going to look like, and that the if you're going to get started, if you want to get started on like trying to change a habit, you have to start with a lot of grace for yourself and tiny, tiny steps. So, the first step of change is not being aware that you want to make a change. And the second step of change is becoming aware that you might want to make a change. Oh, maybe I should start working out again. That's step two. And
Yeah.
step three is starting to make plans for how you could implement the change. And step four, out of I think five or six, is when you actually take action on the change and like try to put it in place. So it can look really tiny at first. And I think it's really reassuring to be like, if you're even thinking about making a change, you're on step two out of like five.
Yeah. I love that.
Almost halfway there.
But
And if you put it into action and you don't follow it perfectly one day, that's okay. That's to be expected. just remind yourself of why you want to do it. You're not doing it because you have to. You're not doing it because you should.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you want to do it, and see if that changes your motivation, and give yourself grace if you don't want to do it one day.
Yeah. And
That's true. I love that.
such a great reminder because I think so many people fail right on that step one because they didn't like they're
Yeah.
actually in step one, but they're expecting step 5 results.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
So
I love that.
that's reassuring. That occurred to me a couple of months ago. I was like, obviously in school and everything, learned about it's a model. It's like I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it's like a change, the stages of change or whatever. And I'm like, oh, it's not till like step 4 where you actually do anything. That's so reassuring. I used to call my OB, like my checkup or whatever. She's like, are you exercising? How often are you exercising? And I'm like, I'm not, but I'm getting pretty close to starting, I think. Like I'm thinking about it.
The thought is there. The want is there.
Right. And also, like, let's give ourselves grace, mamas. Like, some of us are in a season where it's not happening, and that is okay.
And it's okay to not prioritize. It just can't be your priority.
Yeah.
Right? As moms, we're constantly stealing time and borrowing time. Like we're over budget.
Yep.
We're over our time budget. We don't have enough time.
Well, I think that's even true with like I'm going on a whole other episode here, but like the fear of, oh my gosh, if I don't get in shape now, I'm gonna get older and it's gonna get harder. Like, no, just I love changing that should to I should work out to like I actually want to do this. I want to do this for me right now. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
here's our Bronze Medal Mom Challenge for our listeners is to, if you are one of the moms who, you haven't put your swimsuit on or you're feeling a little insecure, put the swimsuit on, right? Make the memory. And if you can relate to this episode, if it resonates with you, we want you to let us know. Like send us a message, tag us on social. We love hearing the feedback from people who are like, oh my gosh, today's episode really hit home. So, and the big thing is for all of our listeners to know, you're not alone. Like we all struggle with this. Even people that you look at and think physically wouldn't, we all have those triggers and that negative self-talk, and we're all in this together.
I mean, bronze medal moms, we don't do it perfectly. But we can do a cannonball with confidence.
So, Brittney, thank you so much for being on here today. Where can people find you, though, if they want to connect with you?
Yeah. So I'm on social media, Instagram, Facebook. The handle is at Austin Mothers. Austin Mothers is also my website. So just austinmothers.com. That's an easy way to find my contact information as well. But there are links on like Instagram bio and everything too.
Okay, we will definitely, to our listeners, we'll put those links in the show notes because I know, Brittney, you do share tools, reminders, and like you have a lot of great stuff for moms. So we will put that in the show notes. And as always, you can find us at bronzemedalmoms.com or on Instagram at bronzemedalmoms.
So wear the suit, bronze medal moms. We will see you at the pool. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to our moms on Bronze Medal Moms. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon.